Winston Churchill, the Prime Minister of the UK during World War II. He carried a Webley revolver and a Mauser C-96 as his sidearm in the Sudan and South Africa wars when he was a cavalry officer. Later, as a Prime Minister, he carried a Colt M1911 mostly in his overcoat pocket as his self-defense weapon. He was a fan of sport shooting and hunting, with over 17 firearms in his gun collection, with the most notable being the M1 carbine, the Thompson submachine gun, and the Sten submachine gun. Joseph Stalin, the famous dictator who ruled the Soviet Union with an iron fist from 1924 to 1953. He owned a Makarov pistol, chambered in 9x18mm, which he was gifted on his 70th birthday. He owned also a Korovin TK, chambered in 6.35mm. Many believe Stalin carried this pistol concealed within his clothing for personal defense. He had a Mosin Nagant, chambered in 7.62mm. It was the only firearm Stalin was ever publicly seen holding. This occurred during the 17th Congress of the Communist Party. Saddam Hussein, president of Iraq from 1979 to 2003. His main sidearm was a Browning high power. He later replaced it with a Tariq pistol, which was the main sidearm of Iraqi soldiers. After being captured on December 13, 2003, he was found carrying a Glock 18C as his sidearm. He was known for his golden guns collection, including a golden AK-47, a golden SVD rifle, a golden Sterling submachine gun, and many more. Abraham Lincoln, one of the most influential and important presidents in American history. Among his most well-known guns were a Spencer rifle and a Henry repeating rifle, which the receiver was plated in 24-karat gold. Fidel Castro, leader of the Cuban Revolution and president of Cuba from 1976 to 2008. His main handgun was a Colt M1911, and his main rifle was a Winchester Model 70. But as a military leader, he also owned various firearms, most notable ones being an M3 grease gun, an RG-38 revolver, an Enfield M1917, and a Golden Colt M1911 as his symbol of power. Donald Trump, the 45th and current U.S. president. With an unrestricted concealed carry handgun license, President Trump in an interview claimed that he owns two handguns, a .45 ACP Hecker and Koch USP and a .38 Special Smith & Wesson 642 hammerless. Some reports suggest that Donald Trump keeps the Hecker and Koch USP as a nightstand gun, while he carried the Smith & Wesson 642 in a pocket holster for self-defense. Benito Mussolini, Prime Minister and Dictator of Italy, from 1922 to 1945. His only confirmed sidearm was a 9mm Beretta M34. Vladimir Putin, former KGB agent and current president of Russia. There's no verified information confirming that he carries a sidearm at all. Some even say he doesn't need one. He can kill you with 32 different objects in the room, including the room itself. The only known photo of him with a firearm shows him holding a hunting rifle. If you know its name and model, drop it in the comments below. As a KGB officer, he certainly carried a sidearm, likely a Makarov pistol or possibly a PSM pistol. Muammar al-Gaddafi, military officer and president of Libya from 1969 to 2011. After being captured in 2011 by Libyan rebels, he was armed with a Golden Browning high power, a Smith & Wesson 356 Magnum, and two AK-74M rifles, but the Golden Browning high power was considered to be his main sidearm. He was known for his collection of golden firearms, the most notable being a gold-plated AK-47 and a golden Beretta 92. George Washington, first President of the United States and Army commander during the American Revolution. He owned several firearms, most of which remain unknown. His most famous were a pair of flintlock saddle pistols, which he used as his main sidearm. They sold for $1.98 million at an auction in 2002. Adolf Hitler. Before we continue, let me introduce you to the sponsor of this video, Ground News, the only platform that shows how different outlets cover the same story. From the left, right, and center, see every angle. Trusted by millions worldwide. Act fast, 40% off for the first 200 signups. Click the link in the description to claim your discount. Adolf Hitler, the Führer of Germany from 1934 to 1945. He owned various guns. The most popular one is the Golden Walter PP, which he was gifted on his 50th birthday. It's now valued at $114,000. He owned also a .25 ACP Walther Model 8 as his concealed weapon for self-defense. He carried also a 7.65mm Walther PP and a Walther PPK as his sidearms. A conspiracy theory claims that both of these pistols were found lying near Hitler's lifeless body in the bunker, adding even more mystery to his final moments. Douglas MacArthur, a famous U.S. military general during World War II, he carried a pair of Colt M1911 with pearl-inlaid handles. He carried also a Colt M1903, which was issued to all U.S. Army generals at that time. Heinrich Himmler, head of the SS and a primary architect of the Holocaust. He had many Sauer 38H engraved with his name, which he gifted to sniper soldiers who reached 100 kills mark. Like Hitler, he also had many golden pistols, which include a Walther PP, a Walther PPK, and many other pistols he received as gifts. He owned a Luger P08, which he mainly used in target shooting practice, but his true sidearm was a Walther PP. It was found when Himmler was captured by British forces in May 1945. Osama bin Laden, founder and leader of Al-Qaeda. His favorite one was an AKS-74U, which he used as his main sidearm. You could see the gun in many photos of him. Theodore Roosevelt, the 26th President of the United States and passionate hunter. Most historians estimate he owned around 100 firearms during his life, most of which included a Holland and Holland Royal double rifle, a Winchester Model 1876, a Springfield Model 1903, and his favorite one, a 405 Winchester Model 1895 lever-action rifle, which he called a medicine. Report says he also owned an FN Model 1899 as his main handgun and nightstand gun. Napoleon Bonaparte, the Emperor of France and military leader during the French Revolution. His main sidearms were two flintlock pistols, which sold for $1.83 million in 2023 at a firearms auction. He had also a collection of 5 flintlock guns, plus a sword which also sold for $2.88 million. Ulysses S. Grant, the 18th President of the United States. His known sidearms are a pair of Remington Model 1858 revolvers, gifted to him in 1864 during the American Civil War. These revolvers were gold-plated, engraved, and ivory-gripped. They are so valuable that they sold for $5.17 million at Rock Island auction. Che Guevara, Argentinian guerrilla leader during the Cuban Revolution. His main sidearms were a Colt M1911 and a Luger pistol, but sometimes he also used a Stechkin pistol. As a soldier, he used a variety of firearms. He was known to carry weapons like the M2 carbine, an FNFAL, a Thompson submachine gun, and a SIG KE-7 light machine gun. General George S. Patton, a legendary U.S. Army general during World War II. He owned 2 Colt single-action Army revolvers, both with ivory grips, though he primarily used this one as his main sidearm. He had a .357 Magnum Smith & Wesson, also ivory-gripped, which he carried alongside the Colt. He also owned a Colt M1903 pocket hammerless, which he was issued after becoming a 4-star general.